Well, hello, my beautiful Leo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for mid-March right through to mid-April 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay, let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Leo, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Leo? What do they need to know regarding their career and their money situation? Can you please guide them and show them the way? What do they need to be aware of at this moment in time? Well, before I even start, I'm seeing an image in the water because I'm scrying at the same time as doing your reading. And I'm seeing the image of the Milky Way. Okay, so this can indicate that, of course, this is a time period where you're going to shine in your career, perhaps get some sort of good news or recognition there, because it highlights that you're going to be in the spotlight for something. But it could also indicate that, you know, you are doing something where people can view it, or you're seen, shall we say. I mean, the Milky Way is a celestial pathway. That's what it literally means when you symbolically apply it to a career reading. So it can indicate the path is being made clear for you to move forward on something. And, you know, it normally means that you're protected and directed. So, yeah. I mean, for some of you, it could be a logo. It could be a reel that you're going to see after this reading, and it's something that signposts a way towards success. I mean, anything connected to stars or, you know, a celestial body like that, it's really positive. So if you've been going through a challenging time, this can indicate that the path is being made clear for a better time ahead. So, yeah, I can only give you what I can see. So that's all I can see right now. So maybe it's something that's going to be relevant to you in the coming weeks there. So just bank it, as it were. It may mean nothing to you right now, but then suddenly everything starts to slot into place for you. So let me just get your cards. We've got the 3 of Cups there. So definitely something to celebrate happening. I mean, you've got the Fool card and you've got the Death card there. So a lot of you, this can indicate that you're onto new projects or approaching your work in a different way. For some of you, you know, you may even be thinking about retiring because this is like a new start. Fool card can be like the beginning of something, and, you know, the Death card is transformation. So it can be a change of pace if you are, you know, winding down employment, for example, and deciding to retire, and, you know, you're looking at your resources to make it work. Some of you may be focusing on your pensions, 401ks, that sort of thing, whether you're retired or not. So, you know, this is like a beginning and ending energy for you. So a lot of you, you know, you're focusing more on like beginning new projects, launching something, or transitioning, like springboarding towards something that is better for you. So yeah, I will connect to your energy in a moment because I have to touch the cards and read the energy as well as give you the meanings of the cards. We have 2 3s either side, okay? A 3 of Swords and a 3 of Cups. Something that is hard to do is going to be very successful. Something that you're already doing right now. We got 10 of Swords, another ending energy. It's not going to be as hard as you think is what I'm being given, because the 10 of Swords is in the resistance position. So if you have been having a challenging time, I feel like this is a recovery period. You're moving on to something greater, okay? I mean, if you've come to this reading and you're currently out of a job and you're looking for an opportunity, I see that, you know, the job market, I got to be honest with you, that 3 of Swords, it can indicate things are challenging right now, but there is going to be something to celebrate for you. We've got the 8 of Swords, Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Very cerebral time for you. So a lot of you, whether you're currently in a position or not right now, you could be doing a lot of problem solving over the next coming weeks regarding your industry or your finances. I feel like you are, you know, strategizing something. We've got the Knight of Pentacles and we've got the World energy as well as the High Priestess. Some of you could be working on something like quietly behind the scenes. I'm actually being given this wonderful energy right now. Let me tap into it. It's like power doesn't shout. It moves in silence. It strikes with precision and calm, patient, like private energy. You're prepared. It's like people may underestimate you right now, but you're ready to strike on something and you'll take them by surprise and reveal whatever it is that you're up to, but it's going to be monumental. It's something that, you know, is coming to a close or coming to a point where it's been challenging, it's been hard, but suddenly when you're ready to reveal it, it's going to be very successful. So some of you could be inventing something or launching something or approaching something. I mean, it could be a new style, new way of working, or, you know, maybe even a new premises for some of you. So please take it as it resonates. But coming back to the energy, if you're currently out of a job or you're currently seeking employment right now, I do see, of course, that it's hard, but I do see a new contract here. I feel like you are going to wait a little bit longer. Not going to lie to you there, because we have that Three of Swords and the Eight of Swords, but the World card with that Knight of Pentacles, I feel like there is a role coming in where you will use it as a stepping stone. Okay, it's like it's an opportunity that opens a door to more. Okay, so I'm definitely seeing that happening there for you. But I do see a lot of you, there's going to be this energy where you'll go for the first initial kind of like interview, and then there's a bit of a gap, like you're waiting for the second review period or the second interview, for example, and you may feel in that time that you didn't get it, but actually they're going to respond. And I feel like they're waiting for someone who's actually on vacation, who has to come back on in to really kind of like discuss the logistics and, you know, meet you as well. Okay, so if you've just gone for an interview and you're waiting and you haven't heard anything and you're kind of like saying, oh, I didn't get that, I feel like you're going to be pleasantly surprised, but they're just waiting for someone to come back in to actually, you know, be part of the interview process. And I feel it'll be offered to you. There is something to celebrate, okay? So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from the energy. Whatever this role is, it requires, for some of you, traveling or maybe even something overseas, or they have like overseas links. You know, it could be a strategic move on your behalf where you get to maybe move into a different sector, or you actually open yourself up to being seconded to a different branch, maybe even overseas at some point, okay? But yeah, let's move on to the main energy. We have, for the majority of the energy that's coming through, we've got the Fool card here. So, of course, this is about you realizing you have a lot of potential, but also some of you may be doing something that perhaps you did when you were younger. Okay, this could be a side hustle, because I'm getting this energy of like two streams of income, especially with that Justice card there. It could be something that really excites you, or even excited you when you were younger, and you never thought it could be something that you could do as a living. Okay, so it could be that, you know, you are thinking about it right now. Some of you may even be, you know, sharing your resources and your ideas with your nearest and dearest, because the Three of Cups can be people coming together to like brainstorm or like give ideas. So it could be that you're actually soundboarding things off your family or friends right now, saying, you know what, I've always been interested in this. Maybe I could launch something that is connected to that. So a lot of you, because you have swords here, it could be online. You know, you may have like some sort of job that you do that is sustaining you right now, but I feel like you're having lots of ideas of other things that you could launch right now in order to increase your finances. I mean, looking at your energy, I got to be honest with you, whatever it is that you do right now to make money, I feel like you're going to be working hard at it, and you're going to be having lots of ideas. Make sure that you have good quality rest, because I feel some of you could be completely exhausted mentally. You know, you're at capacity. You have a lot on your plate. I can definitely see that. But I do see that whatever it is that you're going to launch is going to be successful. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I feel like you're going to find the logistics of how to do it, you know, the how-tos, because I'm seeing like a step-by-step plan right now for a lot of you. Now, of course, no matter whatever it is that you do, this card can indicate like beginning something new. So some of you could be tapping into new software or new products, You know, if you're someone who's in sales, for example, it could be that, you know, you're looking for new things to excite your clientele or your customers, for example. Even if you work in an office, for example, it could be a new approach to something that you do, or new software, new computer programs, new filing systems. You know, this is new energy. So it can indicate that you're looking at new service providers or new contacts in a way. I mean, a lot of you this month, this is a period, the next 6 weeks for sure, is like a networking period, or meeting someone who's in your industry that can help you expand in some way. Okay, so again, you know, it doesn't have to be a corporate position that you're in. It can be any position that you're in, but you're expanding. And it can be that you're meeting a person that helps you expand, or even gives you knowledge, something to think about, because, you know, I feel you're sitting with something here that you're like, this is a conundrum. This is something I got to work out right now. Okay, Three of Swords doesn't have to be something that's heartbreaking or that is upsetting. It can be something that's just challenging. You know, threes tend to be all about waiting for results on something. So that Three of Swords, it can indicate that you're reviewing something this month that you feel, you got to work it out. The Eight of Swords is to sit with something, really break through, like an illusion on something. So this could be you suddenly discovering information that you've been looking for quite some time regarding your industry, on how to structure something, how to launch something, or, you know, it's like something that you don't readily see. Eight of Swords is something that is not readily available to everybody, but it could also indicate that you're tapping into your intuitive leanings on a project, and suddenly, you know, a hunch comes true for you, or it works out for you. I mean, your end cards are very successful, and the beginning cards are very successful. It's just the middle bit that it's like, okay, I got to work this out. So a lot of you are like problem solving in the next coming weeks, but you may be utilizing, you know, fresh new ideas and this sense of adventure, of like taking a risk, but it's an educated risk, if you know what I mean. It feels like you're going for something and you're trying to have more fun with whatever it is that you do, because a lot of you, you know, you may be trying to go solo, be an entrepreneur or an independent worker. You may already be entrepreneurial, and, you know, this is an energy of you kind of like getting out there a little bit more, or kind of diversifying on whatever it is that you do already. You know, the Hermit is to go solo, or to withdraw briefly in order to, you know, prioritize projects so that you're not distracted. But that Three of Cups can indicate that it's a time to integrate, to get involved in the industry, or get creative, or meet new people. You know, when you meet a person who is doing something that you're doing, or something that you aspire to, it can even be online, doesn't have to be physically like you joining a group. It can be that you're actually watching someone who inspires you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I know I can do that, or that's something I've been wanting to do. Let's see what the structure is. You're putting your own unique spin on it, but you may be utilizing a structure of how to do or launch something, or set it up so that you can actually, you know, avoid the pitfalls. Because what I see here is you avoiding a pitfall in order to launch something, okay? But this is like new projects, or getting started on something. And a lot of you, this can be like the next 6 weeks where you are finishing what you start, okay? So no matter what you do, this can be that you're like tying up loose ends, that you're strategizing, you're being organized and structured and very productive, and you're very serious about a plan. Some of you could be leaving a position to start something new. Okay, whether this is a new role. If you're starting a new role, I definitely see at the beginning with the Three of Swords and the Eight of Swords there. A lot of you are going to be like at capacity mentally of like learning new structures, new ways of working, new people, you know, getting to grips with where everything is. And, you know, it's going to be a lot at first. And sometimes when you start something new, it can feel really overwhelming. Like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get this because, you know, I don't know the faces. I don't know the numbers to call. I don't know the people. I don't know the strategy. You're learning as you earn. For some of you, and I feel you're going to ride through that energy. This is a transition towards feeling more comfortable, getting to grips with things, and I definitely see that you're actually going to be very successful at whatever it is that you're doing. So if you are starting something new and it feels really overwhelming at first, I feel once you ride that wave and feel a little bit more comfortable in the role, and, you know, when it becomes second nature, you're actually going to really thrive in that and bring in more money, and it's a stepping stone to something else is what I see. I mean, I see a lot of you beautiful Leos this month. There's this launch pad to something that's going to literally transform your circumstances. I mean, I gotta be honest, I see a lot of you, your money, it may kind of like plateau and remain the same because, you know, you work really hard for that Knight of Pentacles energy. So I do see that you're serious about your finances, you're practical. You know, I feel for some of you, the World card can indicate that, you know, a certain period is coming to an end. Like, for example, as we step into April, this could be the end of a financial year for a lot of you, or for companies and businesses. And this can be where they do their kind of like transactions where they realize how much they earned, how much they have to reinvest in the company. So you could be like up for a bonus in the following quarter. You know, it's almost like once March, April has come to like some sort of close there, it can be that there's an opportunity for a bonus or some sort of increase in finances, but it feels like things are like being tied up right now. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be that this is the end of year for you right now, and you're pooling all your receipts or your like spreadsheets, and you're just getting your returns in, for example. You know, the Three of Cups can be that you're correlating things. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be you outsourcing to an accountant, or you know, perhaps to an assistant in some way. But that Three of Cups, you know, no matter what you do, Three of Cups indicates there is some sort of good news that is coming in for you. So if you're currently putting your resume out for opportunities, I see a new one coming on in, and it will transform your life. It'll really help you move through the ranks in whatever it is that you do. For some of you, if you are deciding to stay where you are, it could also be that you may be seconded to a different branch, or you're thinking about moving within the company to a new role, okay? It feels like the status may remain the same or is just kind of similar, but, you know, with the World card there, it can be that, you know, you're either thinking about being seconded to a different branch in a different country. Perhaps you're, you know, going overseas for some of you. If you're an entrepreneur, it could also be that you are migrating your business or trying to be a little bit more nomadic in your circumstances, to be more independent and do something that you love doing. But that Three of Cups is basically, you know, you having a little bit of extra luck this month in moving forward. I mean, I feel the money is going to be kind of the same, but it could be that you get some news about money in the next month that is going to increase. So whatever it is that you do, it's like the money moving forward is going to be a little bit more. It could be some sort of like incentive coming in, or you being in the spotlight for something that's going to come in and make you really celebrate, but it feels like you don't actually get it until next month. Okay, that's what I'm being given, so I have to honor that. Now, because we have the Fool card and the Justice card, a lot of new contracts this month, so this can indicate that you are utilizing new service providers if they haven't been, you know, offering the service that you really want. Some of you, it could be that you're downsizing on some sort of like subscription, for example. I mean, the Justice card indicates that there's a ripple effect. You know, what you start, you will finish. It will transform your position and you move higher than you were before. For some of you, this could be that you're putting your resume out, so therefore the consequence of that is getting job opportunities and you being able to choose which one is right for you. With the Justice card, it's all about contracts. So I'd say, you know, at the beginning of this period, you're going to be focused on administrative tasks, like being in the flow of emails, documents, signing things, filing things, receipts, you know, just getting things in order. And a lot of you, as I said with that Justice card, that's all about legalities. So it can be that you are like getting everything ready for tax time, for example, especially with the World card. It can indicate the end of a cycle or the end of like a financial period where you're just getting everything in order. But also this card can indicate some of you are thinking about structuring something. So if you're launching a business, it could be that you're looking at the legal structures of how to launch this or how to set it up so it works for you in a really savvy way. For some of you, it could also be that with that Three of Cups there, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, if you work for some sort of corporation, or if you work for like a company, you know, where you basically do a service for them and they pay you, right? You're not an entrepreneur, for example. It could be that there's a couple of you going to HR regarding something to change something. So it could be that you're campaigning for something or standing up for something. You know, it could be like a fresh new start of a proceeding. And, you know, with that Death card energy, I mean, I gotta be honest here. I feel like whatever it is, they want to hush it under the carpet. Okay, so they just want it to go away. And with that Eight of Swords, I feel, it could be at a stalemate for the next 6 weeks. Doesn't mean it's not going to go anywhere, but I feel like they'll try and close it down. So if someone has been, for example, very abrupt or aggressive in the working environment, or there's a hostile environment, micromanaging, or someone who is like shutting you out or alienating people, for example, because you have the Queen of Cups in the resistance position. Okay, and that's a very cold person, someone who doesn't have a lot of empathy. And we've got the Hermit there as well. It could be someone who perhaps they tend to be causing a clique or causing something that is not conducive to a healthy working environment. I feel actually the reason they want to shut this down is because they know that this person's leaving. Okay, so either they're being exited or that they are leaving of their own volition. But I feel the environment will become a much more pleasant place to be once this person leaves, okay? And I do feel like they're going to give in their notice because they've got something else, is what I see, okay? So it may be that it's met with like oh gosh, we got to deal with this now, but they're leaving. So how do we, because I feel like they can't, their hands are tied on something. That's what I'm feeling. I've got to be honest with you there. But it doesn't mean that there won't be a resolution. I feel like there will be, okay? Now, if you're an entrepreneur, this could also be a service that you're trying to disconnect from, or perhaps a client who's, perhaps not the best client. I feel like you're being diplomatic with this person, but you may be trying to phase out dealing with them in some way, and you may have a contractual agreement that you need to legally look over, for example, before you decide to make any decision to leave it or disconnect from it. I mean, this could be a service, for example, that you're like, you know what, this isn't working. I'm just going to cancel that direct debit. But if it's like within a contractual term, it could bring legal proceedings because you haven't adhered to the legalities of the contractual term. So just check that out. I mean, the same with, because this is a career, but a money reading as well. For some of you, this could be a landlord or a landlady, for example, if you rent your premises, and it could be that they are trying to sell the property, or they are going to suddenly like make some changes within the requirements for the money or the services, for example, and it could be that you need to look legally into whether they can do that. Okay, so I do see, again, with that Eight of Swords, it may be a lot on your mind, but there may be something that you don't see that you need to revisit in your contract or your clause regarding it, so that you can actually kind of like secure your position. And they may need to rethink how much time they give you, or what services are provided, for example. So that's coming out there as well. But, because we have this card, regardless of your circumstances, this is you like setting yourself up for your financial future. So it can be that you're like pooling a little bit more of your resources into your 401k or your pensions, for example, or you're, connecting to repayment plans and making sure that you repay debt. But a lot of you are thinking about either being an entrepreneur, going solo, or you need to work without distractions this month. And, with that introspection card, it is in the resistance position. So it can indicate that, some of you feel a little bit isolated or lonely in your working environment. You just feel like you've got to a stage where you're being squeezed for more, but the money is still the same. So it could be that, you're deeply thinking about your circumstances right now, but also being really savvy with the job market or your industry and seeing that perhaps it's changing and you're a little bit unsure of the changes. But I definitely see here that you're putting yourself in a position to make sure that you're secure. So some of you could be utilizing, online services or launching something as a side hustle just to make sure that you are secure in your finances. But I do see with that Hermit energy that some of you are really kind of like deeply thinking about your circumstances, as in where you are right now, where you want to take things to, and where you see yourself in the future. This can be a card where, you feel that there's going to be some sort of crises in your industry, for example. I've got to be honest with the energy that's coming out. So it can be that, you are, brainstorming ideas on how to logically make sure that you are secure. I mean, the Queen of Cups, when I apply it to your energy, it's in the resistance position. So it can indicate that you're like using logic in this situation because you really care about your industry or you really care about what you're doing. But you know, when we over care about something, then we can get really worried or anxious. I feel like you're being logical about the steps that you need to take in order to launch something. But I actually see you launching to success, whatever this is. And, you know, I feel that if you're leaving a position, a lot of you, it's because you've decided to do this because you're making a major decision this month or in the next 6 weeks, and the Fool card is your energy. This is your protagonist energy. This is how you're feeling right now. This is what you're doing right now. I mean, the Fool card can indicate that, you know, not only are you embracing a fresh new start in your approach to your work, this can be that you're excited, enthusiastic about something, but also you're not foolhardy. You're making sure that you logically think about the steps, you know, to either become your own boss or move into a new role or basically retire because you have the World card there. I feel whatever it is you're moving towards, yes, it can cause a little bit of anxiety and worry, but actually, I feel like you've got this, okay? So I'm not sure what you're going through right now, but looking at the energy, I feel, you know, the Queen of Cups, it will go into the upright. So a lot of you, this is about doing something that you love and not really focusing on the finances. It's more important that you feel fulfilled. The money will follow, okay? I feel like, you know, you are secure financially because of that Knight of Pentacles. This literally means that you're hardworking, you proceed with integrity, you persevere, and, you know, you don't stop until it's done. You're dedicated, you're in the flow, and the money is going to come on in, and there is going to be, you know, a steady flow of finances coming on in. I mean, this card, it literally means that your finances are based on hard work, careful planning, and, you know, you're being savvy with your resources right now. So I feel money, it will come towards you. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, you know, a Knight of Pentacles is a knight on a horse with a pentacle, and it's stationary. It's like the money is going to come by your side, and I feel like it's going to be at a plateau. But if you have a certain amount of money that you tend to be able to save, I feel like you're going to be able to save the same this, you know, month or the next 6 weeks as well there. I feel you're patient, you're tolerant, and I feel like, you know, you're someone who perseveres at something, and, you know, the money will be reflected in that as well. Now, the Ten of Swords is in the resistance position at first, which is, you know, a recovery of a situation. I would say for some of you, there is an energy, well, I'm getting two energies actually. One is if you've purchased something and it hasn't come in yet, you may actually find the same thing for a lot less. So I see some of you may actually return it for the better deal. Okay, that's what's coming through. But also I feel for some of you, there is an energy of you getting compensation for something. So if you've been going through some sort of legality regarding an opportunity or regarding a product or a service or something you feel you did not get and it made you really frustrated, I feel like you could be getting like a fair amount of finances as compensation. Okay, this could be connected to travel, but doesn't have to be. But I do see here that some of you, if you have been questioning something or, you know, you've purchased something and you're like, hey, that's not what I ordered, or that's not what I paid for, or it was damaged in some way, I definitely see you getting your finances back, compensation back for it. Okay, I feel like you had to chase it though, but I do see that, you know, customer service will prevail and give you back your finances. So that's coming through there too. I mean, the Ten of Swords in the resistance position, again, is like a new start. So, I mean, this could be like new ideas. It doesn't always have to be like a new start. Swords are of the mind, which means fresh new ideas. It means that you're trying to like keep things interesting. And, you know, I feel like this is about you having fun with your business or your industry and enjoying it a little bit more, because it may have become really challenging recently. I mean, economically, we all know that the world is very volatile right now, and it can be like reflected in different industries. But I see that you're secure in your position, or you're finding a role which secures your position. And I feel like you can utilize your instinctive nature, but also your talents. You're a very gifted person. And, you know, all your cards are pointing pointing to some sort of transition or new period. So it can be that the way that you work or the industry that you work in is transitioning or changing, and rules or regulations are changing, and you have to adhere to new policies, or you have to adhere to a new way of conducting business, which can be frustrating. And at first you may be like, what is this? So it can be like a new computer software program, for example, and it changes the way and the nature that you do business or that you do your job. And at first you're like, okay, this is really clunky. I can't get to it. It just makes me feel like I'm stuck. You know, it's not because you are not good at technology. It's just because it's something new, and maybe you have to have a training day on it for some of you, or you're just trying to work it out. Maybe a person hasn't really trained you properly on it and you're just left a little bit bereft. But I do see you get to grips with it in the next 6 weeks, and suddenly like it's like second nature. But a lot of you, some sort of new like way of working can be thrust upon you in the next 6 weeks. But I feel like you really use it to your advantage. And some of you may even use it personally. And what I mean by that is, if it's a new app or a computer software program, or it's something that can benefit your second stream of income, I definitely see that you will utilize that knowledge and transform because of it. So, I mean, the Death card, something big is ending in your industry, okay? And at first, it can make you feel like your hands are tied, or it can be challenging. Three of Swords, I'm not going to lie to you there, it can indicate that we're in a period of change across the board, and industries are trying to be flexible or navigate a very challenging time. But looking at the energy, I feel like, you know, you use it to expand your opportunities. You use this change period or this transition period to secure better deals and open you up to better opportunities where you can work smarter, not harder there as well. I mean, for some of you, this could be that you're closing down some sort of stream of income in order to launch it in a different way. Or you could be like transforming your company if you're an entrepreneur, for example. I mean, what I see here is a lot of you expanding on opportunities. So if you're an entrepreneur, for example, you could be looking at overseas business or extending your reach internationally, because you do have that world card there. Okay, if you're an entrepreneur, I see you like networking, or, you know, having more people looking at whatever it is that you do and really loving what you do. So if you're changing a style, or you're, you know, offering a new product or service, or if you're doing something where you feel, you know what, I just want to have fun with this and see how it goes. Just launch it and just like put it out there without attaching too much like pressure on it to be a success, for example, you're going to see actually it's wildly successful, more successful than you actually thought in the first place, because I see a lot of reward and success here for you. But again, because we have these two challenging cards, it can indicate that it was hard won. You know, people are going to look at your success and go, wow, you're really lucky. But actually, no, you know how much hard work you're putting into whatever it is you're doing. All the sleepless nights, the, you know, strategizing, sometimes the pressure's too much, you know, you've got it all going on, but you're making this happen and you're taking charge and ownership of your circumstances, okay? Now, let's reel this energy back in a little bit. I do see that for some of you, there could be a bit of a miscommunication going on in the next 6 weeks. I would say get everything in writing. If you tend to work with a person, whether it's a client or a customer that tends to be very difficult, or even your boss micromanaging you, if you work with a challenging person, even if it's like a coworker, you know, and they want you to do something, try to get it in writing, or, you know, get a witness, for example, because I feel there could be a miscommunication here where someone tries to kind of like, I don't want to say set you up for something, because I don't feel that energy. It's like if they ask you, oh, could you just like reorganize this over there? And you're like, yeah, sure. And then you're just doing it. And then they come over and go, actually, I asked you, could you reorganize it over there? And you're doing it here. Did you not hear me? And you're like, that is not what you said. Okay, so I feel there's just something like that where they're very changeable, or they may try to project like a frustration onto you. Three of Swords can be a miscommunication at the bottom of some sort of problem, and you may have to untangle this confusion, okay? And some of you will take this to HR, okay? But also this could be you kind of deciding that perhaps a client or a customer is just too difficult, and maybe you're like, you know what, I'm going to disconnect from helping this person or offering my services to this person and say, actually, enough, no. So some of you may be shutting down a contract or a client and saying, actually, we're not doing business anymore because you're just more hassle than you're worth, okay? So I'm just getting that. It's like taking ownership and value of what you have to offer. Also, I'm getting an energy that someone really loves what you do. If you're a creative, for example, someone really loves what you do. They love your style or whatever it is you have to offer, but they may try to negotiate a better deal. And I see with that Three of Swords that the way that they're offering this deal, it puts you out. It's like it's not financially rewarding for you in some way, or you feel like you're getting less money than you truly deserve. So some of you, you may sit with something for a while and really work out, why are they doing this? Or actually, that's not really great for me. And you may, take back the power by saying, actually, the price is the price. And if you don't like the price, then unfortunately we can't do business, and you may find the opportunity elsewhere. But they won't go elsewhere because you are unique. Whatever it is that you're doing is fresh and different, and they love what you're doing. So actually they're going to have a rethink. They're going to wait it out for a while with that Eight of Swords energy, but they will come back around, So I feel like you will get what you want in the end, because I feel this very persuasive energy from you. Same with if you're going for, an interview. It could be that they try to offer you less money than you truly deserve and desire, but I feel like you get to negotiate a better deal. And I feel that there is an energy, though, of you taking like a lower starting position fee first before you step into the higher pay grade. So it could be, a probation period, for example, where you're waiting for the right money to come on in, but you're accepting a certain amount of money because that is the starting salary. Okay, so that's coming in there. Now, Eight of Swords energy, this can indicate that, you're turning a page. It doesn't feel like it right now. It may feel a lot of challenge, like you've got a lot on your to-do list and, you're brainstorming so many different things and it's hard. But as you can see with that Eight of Swords, there's a ladder in this card, which means it's hard to move up in life, but you're actually doing it. And I feel, sometimes chaos and challenge come right before the breakthrough. And I see you having that breakthrough. I'm also being given a song right now. All that I want is to see all the things I could be. Destiny is calling. Okay, this is a song, I have heard it before. I'm not sure if it's come up in a reading, though. It's by a band called Imagine Dragons, okay? And you know what I'm seeing? It's like I'm seeing the movie of their video, the music video that goes along with it. And I'm seeing like a little child, like looking at something, envisaging what it is that they want to be. And in the video, it's like they want to be an astronaut, right? Which is a big dream to have, of course. And it means you have to be bold and daring and do something that nobody else is doing. And I feel this is your energy, and it's like then you become the thing that you wanted to be. So especially since you have the Fool card there, a lot of you, it's maybe something that you envisaged when you were younger, or it's something that you always aspired to be or have or do. It doesn't have to be that you wanted to be an astronaut. It can be that, you wanted like lots of money, for example, or you wanted to run your own business, or you wanted to purchase a really expensive car. Whatever it is that you envisaged when you were younger, in that video, I'm seeing that they become what they envisaged they wanted to be when they were younger. So again, there's a correlation. It's like in maturity, you will see that you're actually going to reach your goal. You're going to be very goal-oriented in the next 6 weeks. And again, I feel it's not easy, but I feel like you're making it happen despite the challenges, okay? Now we do have that World card energy, which means that you are going to tie up a lot of loose ends. Anything you have in motion that you've been meaning to get round to doing, I definitely see that you complete it. Tasks done, okay? A lot of you, this is you on to the next, okay? Planning, something that's going to be a work in progress. So it's like you're launching a new project, or you're on to the next thing, or you're starting something, finishing it, and then you're on to the next. I do get this energy for some of you of a training period. Okay, so some of you may be thinking about training or going to higher education in order to unlock new pay grades, and I definitely see this as something that's going to be very lucrative for you. The World card is a success card, so I definitely see here that you complete something, and it could be that there's like a flurry of activity right now because you're about to take a vacation. You know, some of you could be traveling and you're just trying to get everything all together. Everybody's working as they should at the beginning, but then there may be somebody off unwell, for example, or taking like a leave of absence spontaneously, and then everybody else has to pool in and complete the tasks. That's if you work for a company or you work in a company or industry where people work together, for example. It's like you cover for someone. That's what I'm picking up on. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you're waiting for something that hasn't come through and you feel a bit stuck, like your hands are tied, because that Eight of Swords is to be like rooted to the spot or feel like you can't move forward until something comes on in. But for some of you, and I'm going to pull a quick card on it because the Three of Swords can also be a rejection on something. Okay, and I hate to give that message, but I do see a celebration here for you. So it's like a celebration comes at the cost of a rejection. So it can be that, you know, there was a deal on the table and you're like, well, it's not a great deal, and then it doesn't go through and you're like, oh, frustrated at first, but then you see why it wasn't meant to go through because an alternative opportunity comes in that's way better and you celebrate it. So I'm just going to pull a quick card on that Three of Swords for you. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Leo? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to see right now? So we have the Devil card and we have the King of Swords. Yeah, so the Devil card is to feel stuck or maybe even stuck in analysis paralysis. So, you know, I would say because there's a connection here of like an opportunity that comes in, it could be that you're thinking about an opportunity for too long and suddenly the opportunity goes away, for example, and you're like, oh, I missed out on that. And you feel, oh, I really wish I had done this quicker or sooner. What is meant for you will never pass you by. Something better is coming on in for you, okay? Also, I feel if you get rejected on something, the Devil card is present, which means this is something that is going to be bad for you or could be that you're stuck in, okay? Listen to your intuition. If you go for an interview for something or a client comes towards you and you have a hunch and you're like, this person's bad news, or if you feel a deal feels off or something just doesn't feel right, investigate it further. This is a card of strategy and analysis and judgment, of course. And we've got the Justice card, especially if you're signing contracts. There could be, you know, an opportunity that locks you in to something. That message really came in right at the beginning, and it's something that could keep you stuck in a rut for a little while. If you get, you know, investigating that and it becomes a missed opportunity, I feel there's no real missed opportunities. I want you to be aware of that. But if you like get let down or rejected from something, you had a lucky escape. Okay, because there's an alternative opportunity coming in that is way better for you and is not connected to any like negative energy. Okay, so I just want you to be aware of that. Now, King of Swords is always about international energy. It's about expanding your business. So a lot of you are strategically planning something right now. Devil card can also be that this creates worry because whenever we're projecting ourselves into the future of how we want to set things up or how we want things to be, but right now we feel like we're at where we're at and it just feels like a monumental task, we can get a little bit like bogged down by the details or feel really overwhelmed. But actually, I feel like you're going to get a winning strategy here and you're going to liberate yourself out of a situation that you feel stuck in. You're actually going to move forward, okay? A lot of you, this could be overseas business or that you're trying to migrate your business or, you know, set up structures in order to benefit you financially abroad, for example, because the World card is present. And of course, some of you are thinking about the world and the effect it has on your industry. You know, I got to be honest with the World card showing up. We cannot ignore that, you know, circumstances are a little bit challenging at this moment in time. But when you apply the World card to a like financial reading or a reading that's connected to industry and you have like this fresh new start energy here, you know, it can be that, especially with the Knight of Pentacles, some of you are looking for alternative options, but you're staying where you're at right now until the right one comes along. You're being strategic. You're being really clever. You're not just going to launch yourself into something that you feel is not secure. Let's put it that way. The World card is all about success. So I feel like you're on top of your goals. I feel like you reach a position or an opportunity which you will celebrate. And for some of you, you are traveling, so you're going to have a wonderful time. There may be some interesting delay or change to your travel, which you will get compensation on. Okay, you'll still reach your destination, but you may have to wait. Okay, I hate to give that message. For some of you, it's connected to weather. Okay, some sort of weather event there. So I'm going to leave that there. But you'll still go and have a wonderful time, but you may get some money back, which means, you know, it kind of paid for the trip a little bit. So yeah, we also have that High Priestess. Now this is a review energy, so I feel a lot of you, there could be a review going on, whether you're reviewing your industry or your business right now and just strategizing, or whether you are in the planning stages for something. And some of you may literally have like an appraisal or review with somebody, if you have a boss, for example. And this could be something that's really impromptu. And it's to discuss like the nature of the business and your role and where you see yourself going. For some of you, if you feel like you've hit a glass ceiling in your industry, this could be that you're asking for opportunities to rise in the company, but they may tell you that there are some future opportunities coming up, but right now you have to stay where you're at, okay? And then you get to decide whether you're going to stay where you're at or whether you're going to open yourself up to new opportunities there, okay? This is a card of like, stop, wait, think about your circumstances before you launch it. If you are launching something, I feel like a lot of thought has gone into it, and I feel it's going to be very successful for you indeed, especially since Mars is now direct. I would say this is a very passionate time to get moving forward on stuff. Just be a little bit mindful of Mercury retrograde though, because it can delay things, or you'll have to revisit things, you know, when it comes to launching them. And that Knight of Pentacles, steady amount of finances. I feel like, you know, you're financially savvy, being able to save a little bit more money than, well, actually, I see that you're going to be able to save the same amount of money, okay, that you tend to. So if you have a certain, like, approximate amount of money that you tend to save per month, I feel it's kind of the same. I feel a lot of you, the money doesn't really change that much this month. I feel, you know, in the future, there's just a little bit more money to come in towards you, either an increase or, you know, promotion or some sort of bonus or incentive comes in. But I feel a lot of you, the money plateaus at this time. So I'm just going to get some final cards to close your reading. Thanks so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Leo? Okay. We have 3 cards on that deck. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Leo what they need to know regarding their career or their finances at this time? A lot of you are brainstorming, trying to transform your finances, and I see that you're going to find the right opportunity for you. It's going to be a very successful launch. So we have temporary, okay? That's the butterfly. You actually have a butterfly in that death card energy as well, okay? So it says there you may have many jobs. So that's why I was picking up that second stream of income energy going on. It says you may have many jobs before finding the one that you really love. Money will come and go. Okay, that's what I pretty much felt for the next 6 weeks. I feel like you're secure. You know, you have a very secure card there. So I wouldn't worry about it. But of course, we always worry about things, right? But I do see here that, you know, this is about you doing something or tapping into something that you really enjoy and love, and, you know, really getting more money from it as well. We've got repetition. Yeah. So that's the energy I did feel for your reading. You know, remember, when you repeat something and it becomes a bit of a habit, that's when you really master it. So you are someone who is really talented and gifted at what you do. And it says sometimes in order to move forward, you must repeat situations in order to learn more important lessons. So I definitely see you moving forward. But again, as I've mentioned, the energy in this reading, it's like you got to repeat something in order to do it. And yeah, it feels hard, but you're about to unlock, you know, greater things ahead. And it says patterns, routines, and habits. We've also got hidden secrets. Okay, I mean, we've got the High Priestess there, which is all about secrets or doing something off-grid. So a lot of you, as I said, you could be moving in silence. Remember that power energy that came out. Power doesn't shout, it moves in silence. And I definitely see that a lot of you could be doing that right now. But also there could be something going on behind the scenes, as I mentioned, like someone being exited from your company, or you're currently thinking about like closing something down or disconnecting from a client or someone who's been challenging or difficult there as well. It says, careful of superficial appearances or making decisions without all the facts. Act with discernment, unseen, sly approach, and careful. Yeah, that definitely came up in your reading. You know, sometimes you got to do a little bit more investigation, find the facts before you connect to something. You don't want to be locked into something that you can't get out of, okay? I mean, that's not to make you feel paranoid or anything. I don't see anything really negative here, but there's like this period of pause. So it could be that, you know, you feel like you have to wait it out until a certain period comes to an end before you can release yourself from something. Maybe gardening leave, for example, or, you know, a period where you give in your notice, but you have to stay there for a month or 3 months or whatever it is before you can like move on to the next opportunity. And we've also got the wolf there. Now, the wolf is very interesting because the wolf is a pack creature, and you do have that Three of Cups there, which is a pack energy. So again, it could be that you're doing something with people, but also the wolf needs to be independent, go off and do their own thing. So again, I'm getting that second stream of income. Maybe this is just a thought right now, a strategy. You know, it doesn't have to be something you're doing. It could be something you're about to launch, or you're moving in stealth mode to do it. But it says here, time to reset your mindset to thrive and let go of old coping mechanisms that are keeping you at the status quo. I would say, you know, this is you brainstorming ways to make a breakthrough. It says fears, pressures, coping, and stress. I mean, a lot of you looking at your cards with that Three of Swords and the Eight of Swords, and I don't choose the cards, you know, they popped out there for you. So I do see a lot of you are at capacity or nearly there, you know, burnt out and feeling the pressure right now. But I do see you thriving in challenging circumstances. The wolf always thrives in challenging circumstances, but these circumstances are outside of yourself. And I feel that, you know, if you zoom in a little bit more to what you envisage for your future, I definitely see here that you're going to make it happen, and it's going to be very successful indeed, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket oil rune. Okay. Oh, we've got a big old yes there. Yes. So this is like a positive mindset, being open. Yes, you're going to be successful. Yes, you're going to grab the opportunities. And, you know, whenever we celebrate something or we get something, because I feel with that Three of Cups, you will be celebrating some great news or something that is being offered to you. It's a yes. You know, whenever you get something, you're like, yes, I did it. I got it. Finally. So I really feel it's going to be a resounding yes in a very positive way for you, okay? So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Leo. I hope something resonates in this reading for you. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press that little notification bell. Lets you know when I update my next message. Lets me know that you resonate with reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Leo, and love and light.